Are you feeling burnt out? Are you creating too much content on Twitch? Oh, poopy. So how do you not feel burnt out? How do you still create content without overdoing it? Can we talk about that? Hello, I am Stealthygolem. I am a partnered streamer on Twitch, and I have a lot of silly streams. I have a lot of cozy streams. But even though I can be silly and can be live for many, many hours, one most important thing to think about and take into consideration is taking a good break. Knowing when to take a break is important. And I'm not necessarily taking a break as in a big vacation, not even a 1 week, 2 week thing. Maybe it's just a day. Whatever it is, you need to be able to learn when to take those breaks, when to understand that you possibly are reaching close to burnout, or just in general feel completely out of it. So how do you deal with this problem? How do you deal with this mess of a situation you got yourselves in? I'm way too tired to do all the things that I should do. But I should do all these things because they help me do what I like to do the most. Well, where do you draw the line? Where's the line? Because I can always do more. You can always do more. You can always create another video. You can always be live more. You could always make more social media posts. You can engage more with other streamers and other content creators in general. You can also reach out to more brands and do more sponsorship. You can always do more. So a lot of us fall into this trap where we feel that I'm not growing enough. I am stagnating, but I know that I can do more. Maybe if I do more, I can pick up the pace for what I had 3 months ago. Now we have to ask ourselves, is that really the thing that you should be doing? And is that really the problem, that you should do more? Why did it work 3 months ago? Was it by chance that it worked 3 months ago? Maybe not. Maybe it was just that you were sparking, you were sparkling, you were beautiful, you were amazing back then. You didn't realize because you were in your element. You were just doing your thing. You didn't think about, oh, I'm going to chase those trends. I'm going to make sure that I'm live when they're not live. I'm going to make sure I have a video on this thing because I haven't seen this video around anywhere. No. You were in your element. Possibly, likely. I'm just saying that this is a possible thing that could have happened. And for a lot of people, this is happening. Now, let me explain you a little bit on what I'm saying here. Imagine, well, let's say you're feeling a little bit tired. Okay, so you're feeling a little bit tired. It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit exhausting. Life and content creation. And then there's this thing with the pet. And then that thing with a friend that need help. Mental. You're the therapist. Of course, you're the therapist. So imagine that we're having a discussion, you and me right now. Now, you're talking to me, and I'm also responding to you, but I'm sitting on my phone at the same time. So I'm sitting on my phone, and you're asking me questions, and I'm saying, yes, well, of course they can. I totally agree with that. Brian should never talk to somebody like that. The thing is that I am responding. I am merely doing my job as a participant in this game we're playing, this conversation, or might even say discussion, but you wouldn't agree to that because I'm not really discussing a lot with you. I am basically reacting to you. Now, a lot of the times when we feel a bit stressed, when we feel a bit, oh, it's a bit much, isn't it? We tend to go to work mode. Now, work mode is good if you're at work and you just need to do the minimum required of you. But what happens usually with us on a content creation perspective, or us as content creators, we need to be a little bit extra. We need to be authentic. We need to be standing out. We need to do something of our own. When you're just in work mode or doing whatever you should do, you tend to lose that extra little spark. That little sparkling person you have inside of you falls away. Gets a little hidden, but that's fine because we can pick it right back up again. But we just need to know how to summon that spirit that is just slowly falling away. Now, how can we get this spark back? How can we do that? Well, you have to, first of all, I have to put this phone away. I need to be invested in my time. Am I tired of you? Maybe I am tired of you. Maybe I'm just not, you know what? It's not about the phone. It's about you. I don't want to discuss with you. That's why I'm not really reacting to you. That's why I'm on my phone. So is this a relationship that I have with my content creation? Am I like, I don't really want to do this. I don't really want to. I'd rather have pizza and fall asleep right now. Is that true? Would you rather not be creating content? Do you feel that you should create content? Should I be in a discussion with you? Well, that doesn't make me that intrigued. It just makes it a job. So, we have discovered something. This might not apply to you, but this is a scenario that I think many people find themselves in. So, considering this, what do we have to do to make this feel less like a job again and rekindle the spirit that we had together back in the day? Well, we have to analyze a little bit. It might be different reasons. Let's go through some of them that might be likely. The most likely reason is you're doing too much. Simply doing too much. You don't have time to even think when you're done creating content because you need to rest. And that makes you boring, unfortunately. We tend to grow the most when we are inspired, when we are motivated, when we are able to be creative. That creates authenticity. It does. Trust me, maybe. At least a little bit. It's important to take a break. Take a day off. Take some time to think, analyze, maybe even look at your most recent recordings, your most recent streams, and think, am I being funny? Am I responding in a funny way? Am I just on the mail? Am I just doing it to do it? I'm seeing this, I'm doing this, and I should be doing that. Let's say that you tend to be having more improvisational jokes. You make more random jokes. You go out of your way from the game to go on a tangent and talk about your life or talk about a silly little joke you had. Do you do that anymore? Did you used to do that? So how do we find the time? How do we find the time again? What do we do? How do we approach this? Because I feel this intense need of doing. I just need to do. Because if I don't do, I fall off. I'm off the grind. I'm not growing. This isn't good. I think that, first of all, having that break is important. Whatever you feel like it's gonna be, take whatever you feel like it's gonna be. You need a day just to think about it. Maybe you need a day to think about it. In that case, you might need a day to think about it, and it might be a week after you've thought about it a little bit, because you realize after that one day of thinking about it that you need to really, really think about it. So, at least take a day to just designate that day to think about it. Take a walk. Remove yourself from the things that remind you constantly of having to do things, and take a walk. Go into that room where you're alone, maybe the bathroom for a little while if you live alone. Some place that you can just focus on being with yourself, because then the mind will start to work. If you're tired, you'll eventually notice that, you know what, I am tired. I feel like I want a break. When you've come to a conclusion about what sort of break you'll be taking, enjoy that, and then see if you're able to come back and make funny content again. But that is not all. Let us continue talking about what to do after said break, or after said time to think about it. Number 1, having a creative scenario to think about this whole thing you're doing. So of course, if we're losing touch, if we're not being as funny, most likely one of the reasons that we are not growing, that we're not succeeding, you are not succeeding here. I'm talking about you, of course. I'm seeing us. I'm inclusive. Talking about you. Is that we just lost it. I lost it. I don't know how to pick it up. I don't even know where it is. But I lost it. Where is it? Let us find it. And to find it, let me tell you, we're gonna find it, but we need to spend a lot of time. But the thing is, when we find it, we're gonna spend more time just pretending we haven't found it. You know why that's important? John Cleese once said that you need space, time, and some other things. I can't remember. He's on the wall there. He would remember. I don't. But it doesn't matter. What really stuck with me was that you need not only time, but you need time. 2 times. 2 times you get time. Now, what does that mean? That means that you should set aside some time to be creative, to try to find that thing. So, be in your space and allow yourself, I'm going to have this time to be creative. And then you're going to add on top of that even more time to be creative. Because what tends to happen is that we put aside 30 minutes, an hour to be creative. And then usually by that time that we have designated that time, you feel is good to have a creative session, that is enough to start the creative process. Enough to start. So that's why you need to not only have what you designated, but you need to designate more after what you think is normal. This is important to just become detached and to really focus in on what you more as a core likes to do. This helps you to be more creative, you get more random ideas, and you take a step back from what the whole thing you're doing. You feel less obligated to continue whatever you're currently doing, and you're able to think clearly. That's important, to think clearly. Now, if you didn't get to think clearly enough after your break, maybe a little more break should do it. And now, and don't get too angry about me. I'm saying break a lot, and a lot of you will not want to take a break or don't have the time to actually. And I can't. I need to pay the bills. I need to do this, or I need to make all this content before this comes out, and this game will come out. Then I need to make content about this, and then that happens. I will say, okay, that sounds like a lot, but it's all in the mind here. The important thing to realize, and this is the most important advice that I can give today, it's super succinct. I don't know if that's how you say that word. It's really easy for me to handle. So if you feel like I should do this, I should do that, I don't have time for this, this is annoying me, I gotta do it, I started doing this, I gotta finish. I say to myself, let's say I have 10 things that I could do right now to push making content. I got all these 10 things. Oh my, there are a bunch. It feels a bit overwhelming. And then I think about, what happens if I don't do either one? Let's see, what happens if I don't do that? Well, that might be potential good. That might be the thing. That might be the thing. If I don't do that, then I'm missing out. Maybe that's why I'm not growing. Well, that's dumb. But here's the thing. I'm asking myself something different instead of what I should do all these things. I'm asking, which one of these are my priorities and how much do I have time to do? It is as simple as that. Don't feel forced to do more than you can do because you can't. If you feel like I can't spend enough time making a TikTok post. I can't be live. I can't do much on Twitter because I don't have the time to tipple-tapple on the keyboard. I can't make a YouTube video because I'm full-time on Twitch and it's too much effort to do more. Then simply don't. The people that are advising you to do more are giving you great advice. It is always nice to do more. Because as I mentioned, you can always do more, and if you do more, it will most likely be good. If you are authentic, if you are the one person that you like to be, you're currently that person, and if you are aware that you are currently in your comfort zone and you're happy, then you will also most likely want to do more and feel less tired. Because you're in a good zone. You're happy. But, of course, getting there is difficult. Knowing when you can take a healthy break and not be afraid of people seeing you when you take a break. Oh no, I saw you. You said you weren't going to stream. I saw you hanging out there, chat. Yes, I was taking a break. So, decide. Take those 3 things. Those are your priorities. I can do those 3 things. And maybe I'll do those 2, and this one might be extra. So we'll see. And that's fine. I would love to do these other 8 things as well. No, that's 7. But I don't think I can do it. Well. Maybe some other time. Maybe another time. It is fine. Because you don't have the time for it. And why spend time being frustrated on time that you knew you never could spend? It was already a given answer. So why dwell? This thing is our enemy sometimes, but it can also be your friend. So, in summary, Figure out if you are just doing auto mode, if you're in work mode. Are you being yourself? Are you being the one you want to be? Are you just working? Secondly, and follow up from that, if you think that you should take a break, start with a small time and think about if you need a bigger time to take a break. And of course, thirdly, think about what you should be doing, what you want to be doing, what you actually could be doing. The answer usually is quite simple. You just need to accept the answer. Sometimes you know that, you know what, it's hard to be a Hollywood movie star. I'm going to say that I'm not going to become a Hollywood movie star because it sounds ridiculous giving my certain life. So why even have that thought in my brain? And remember to be creative. Get your time, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.